Okay, hello everybody. I don't know if anyone's here yet. I'm going to give it a few seconds just to let everybody come in and get settled, and then we'll go over the Speediance for today. My name is Sam. I'm a health and fitness coach. Been doing this for about 20 years now, and I am a proud owner of the Speediance and Speediance Gym Monster. And it's right behind me if you haven't seen it yet. Gather, make sure that those things turn off when we don't use them. Refresh. There we go. Okay. So today we're going to go over some questions. If you have any questions yourself, you feel free to leave them in the comments. If I can get to them, I see them very small for me, so if I can see it, I will answer them. We can always just save a few minutes at the end and ask as many questions as you like. Again, I've been doing fitness and wellness for about 20 years now and teaching every modality of training from strength training to calisthenics, to boxing, to yoga, to spin classes, to aerobics classes, you name it. And so when I decided to get a home gym for myself, I needed something that would hold up to the standards that any gym, going to any regular gym, would be able to compete with. So the Speediance was not a difficult choice for me. I had weighed many other options ahead of time and checked out the tonal, checked out OxFit. This here gave me an opportunity to have something that wasn't screwed into my wall. As you can see behind me, the Speediance has nothing attached to the walls. It is probably about 6 feet tall, and it is about 3 feet wide, maybe 2.5 feet wide, and it folds up. It'll fold up this way so that it stays in a small little compartment in whatever room that you want to put it in, and it's pretty easy to shift from one room to the next if you needed to shift it from one space to the next. So just going based off of other options that are out there, if you're thinking about getting a tonal, the price difference is much higher. It is also something that needs to be screwed into your wall. And if you're renting an apartment like me, you will find that that is not easy to do, and taking it down afterwards might leave some holes in the wall. So the other options were OxFit. OxFit was one of my choices, and OxFit was a bigger device. It had a much longer carriage, and it was 7 feet long, I believe, and it had big, huge, like visible pylons hanging out of it, which made it a little bit more challenging to just put in any room. And I live in a studio apartment in Denver, so for me, having something smaller made more sense. The OxFit just took up too much space. Also, both with the tonal and the OxFit, you have to pay a membership. And Speediance, you do not have to pay a membership currently. So if you're looking to get a Speediance, you remember that you can skip the membership, and with the tonal or OxFit, you're going to have to pay for 2 years of a membership before it unlocks so that you can just use it on your own. Speediance has its own unlocking mechanism that you can use called the free lift mode. So if you didn't want to use the programs that it has available, you could jump into something like free lift, and I will take you through all of those things within the hour. I wanted to get a second to go over some questions that might be pertinent. So we'll talk about more of the actual mechanisms of fitness in a bit, Raphael. But for right now, let's try to go over a little bit about why Speediance is a better choice. And question one is, Speediance, is it truly a game changer, and is it worth the price? I would say so. If you're looking to get a gym membership in this day and age, you're going to pay around $100 a month, depending on the type of gym you'd like to go to. You might, find one for $10 a month, but the really nice ones are about $100 a month. The ones that keep themselves a little cleaner. And I find that with the gym membership, you're going to be paying for a membership that doesn't have a trainer attached to it, and you would have to get a trainer on your own. This Gym Monster has its own trainer inside of it, which teaches you not only what exercises to do, but actually how to do the exercises, which I'll show you in a second. So it's worth the money in the sense that you wouldn't have to pay the $100 or $50 a session that you would pay for a personal trainer, but you would also get a gym membership right in your home, essentially, and it pays for itself within 30 months. So in basically almost 2 years, you'll have paid for it yourself without spending $100 a month on a gym membership. So it's a pretty good deal. Is Speediance safer than free weights? And how does the weight sensation compare to using free weights? What is the perspective of a fitness coach using this machine? Yep. So in any modality of training, when you're using dumbbells or using any sort of barbell, there is always risk that comes with that. And if you're not familiar with how to work out, sometimes you can be doing things in the wrong plane of motion. Sometimes you could be doing things that don't serve the movement properly and cause injury or cause soreness or pain in certain things if you don't get the movements correctly. There's always risk of dropping things on you. When you're using the cable machine in the gym, it's very similar to this one. The cable machines in the gym are a lot bigger, a lot bulkier, and a lot heavier weight stacks. So when you're using this one, the weight stack is hidden. You don't really see it. There is no weight stack. It's just ropes. So in terms of getting injured using this, there is no chance that you can do it unless you tripped over it. But basically, the Speediance is much safer in that regards. It also guides you on your negative movements. So think about, like, if you're doing a positive movements of a chest press, the negative movement would be the way back of that chest press. It guides you, and it can change the weight distribution so that you can have more resistance on the way back, so your negatives are much more focused. So thinking it from a strength training standpoint, you have to look at the positive contraction and the negative retraction of the movement. When you're doing any positive movement, you're actually pressing something outwards. When it comes back and returns towards you, that resistance that you give it on the way back, so let's say that I'm doing a chest press, as I'm taking whatever weight that I'm holding, whether it's a band or it's a Gym Monster or a dumbbell, whatever resistance is coming backwards, I want that to be slower so that the muscle actually tears and regrows. The Speediance allows you to do that in several different ways. So it can challenge you more, or by pressing a button and giving you more resistance. So if you had a 20-pound chest press, you can actually make the resistance 40 pounds. So it's even harder to go back, and you resist it more, so you can feel even more work in your chest muscle. Because of a bicep curl, the same concept. If I was doing a positive movement up on the bicep curl, that negative movement, I can make it even heavier, so that it almost, if I didn't use my strength to stop it, it would slingshot me down. But that resistance that I give it makes that muscle grow even more. So something to think about in eccentric mode on the Speediance. So basically, you have a couple of different options in terms of the different modes that you can use within Speediance that give it a little bit more safety, give it a little bit more resistance in terms of allowing you to grow muscle faster. So when I think about it from a fitness training standpoint, I've been personal training for 20 years now. The Speediance is very similar to the gym that I installed in every single one of my clients' homes. So I do in-home personal training, and they all have a cable machine. I think it's the most pivotal thing. in terms of working out, because it allows functionality beyond just dumbbells. So we can do much more variety. And as you'll see in a second, how much variety that the Speediance has. So many different programs, so many different exercise routines, and then a free lift mode in which you can get as creative as you'd like to get. So the next question is, can I demonstrate how easy it is to switch between exercises on the Speediance? Yes, it's pretty easy. So I'm going to go ahead and show you a little bit more of how this works. So switch to the handles. Give me 1 second here. And we're going to switch over. So with the Speediance, it has different handles and different places to connect the handles to. So the first one is here, which slides up and down. This here, where I can adjust it all the way to the top or the bottom. Based on this here, I can do my chest presses, my rows. If I had a rowing machine attached to it, I can use that as a rowing machine. I could do chest flies, reverse flies for the rear deltoid muscles. And to make the change here, it's pretty easy. I have mine currently set to the bottom, if you can see on the floor here. And on the floor, this just easily presses a button and it slides the cable stack outwards, where I would move it up into the groove here of this device. And now my handle's up at top, and it's pretty easy to do it. You just have to press the button here, and it lifts right up and out. When I keep it at the bottom here, this area here is more for squats or deadlifts, any sort of leg movements. I can attach the ankle straps. I can attach different the barbell to it. Basically here, it gives me a lot of options in terms of doing leg movements, but I can do single arm rows off the bench here, which your Speediance should come with a bench. Some people will opt for an incline bench. I didn't need the incline bench. I thought the flat bench worked just fine for me. So if you're looking to get a Speediance, you can get a bench attachment, you can get an incline bench attachment, and you can get a rowing machine attachment to it. So there's several different options, and the rowing machine has its own programming here for it. Now, in terms of is it easy to switch between exercises within the programming, let's take a look at free lift mode first. So on free lift mode here, it's very simple. You can just pick up and slide the cables to where you want it to be for whatever exercise routine that you're doing. When I want to do a exercise for the upper body, I simply just turn on my weight stack by pressing the button here. It has the option of adding weights to both sides right now. It says 50-50, meaning the cable on the right and the cable on the left are both 50 pounds of resistance. And I can change that resistance pretty easily by sliding up and down on this meter. If you have a ring attachment, which is here, I would simply press the ring button here on the top. Now the ring is attached to the device, as you'd see right up there, and I can change the resistance. If you watch the numbers here, I can change the resistance easily by just turning the knob of the ring and then clicking it twice, and now the resistance will show up on the machine. So this is another safety meter mechanism that Speediance uses in order to keep you from injuring yourself, or if you're doing a bench press and you're struggling on that last rep and you can't get it up and you feel like it's going to get stuck in your chest, you can just double click your ring here and everything will go back to its zero weight resistance. So it's pretty easy to switch. There's different modes here. There's partner mode. So if you're working out with someone, I can take one side of the cable machine, whether it's on the bottom or on the top here on the bars, whatever I'm using the cable machine for. and add 17 pounds. I have 17 pounds on this side, and I have 30 pounds on this side right now. So if our partner and I was doing rows, or one was doing a shoulder press, we can each do different exercises, or we can do the same exercise at the same time. So there's partner mode there. You can flip the display upside down in case you're doing any sort of bench press. And if you move it away from the wall a little bit more, it'll get a little flatter, and you can see what your numbers are as you're doing your presses. Let's flip that back and take it out of partner mode. What I was talking to you about before is the dynamic weight training mode. This is standard mode here, which is just 20 pounds of resistance forward, 20 pounds of resistance back. So I can add a chain to it where I add an extra 8 pounds of resistance on the positive, and there is no resistance on that concentric movement, the negative. I can add an eccentric, which gives me 20 pounds of resistance on the way down, and then fixed speed where I just learned this one. It makes the resistance, this is a fantastic one. So if I push fast, it will get really heavy. So as I'm pushing faster, it will be harder to push the more force I give it. And then if I am slow on the way back, it'll slingshot back. So it just kind of depends on how much force you're giving something. This is great for those last reps of anything, any exercise that you might be doing, where you feel like, I want to get one more set in there, but I don't have any strength left in the tank. I'm just going to go ahead and try whatever resistance my body can push right now. So if my body cannot drive up quickly and I only have a little bit of strength, it will add in the appropriate amount of weight for what you may need in that mode. Excellent modality. I don't know if any other programs, Tonal or any of the other ones, have that. That gives you the option here using the dumbbells or the barbells, which is pretty awesome. So you can flip between the two of those. It has some assistance for you, level 1 and level 2, which will help you on your negative reps. It tells you here what the duration of the exercise that you've been doing. It tells you how much volume you've lifted. So if you've lifted 20 pounds, one time it'll show up here. You lift it a second time, it says 40. The next time it'll say 60, and it'll keep going up in increments to tell you the total volume of weight you lifted for the day. And then it tells you the kilocalories of what you burned. So the calorie count is here as well, which is awesome. And you can set parameters of how much duration you want to work out for the day, how much volume you want to use for the day, and how much calories you want to do within your programming. So if you wanted to burn 300 calories, you could set a marker for yourself, a target, and it will go off when you hit that target. So also too, here we have the power stats, which in an exercise, which I'll try to do right now, let me show you. So any type of exercise that I do will show up on the power here on how much I'm generating. If I'm going lightly, it'll be a little bit lighter. It'll show up not as high, but if I'm going really fast and aggressive, you'll see that weight stack go up. And it will tell you how much power you're generating in between each repetition so that you can monitor how much you're giving each rep. You'll notice that as you get more tired during any sort of strength training, it will go down and down and down. It also tells you here the range of motion and if they are equal. So as I do this, I'm only doing one side, so you can only see the yellow line here, but that yellow line will go up and down, telling me if I'm matching the green line. So if I'm doing a curl with both hands at the same time, I want to make sure that they're kind of balanced and not one line is going really high up and one is going really low. So this is a really good routine here. You have options, which is great for your music. It's a system volume here. I could turn up the music. And it has 24 different songs, I believe. It has voice guidance, so it will tell me on programs exactly how to do the workout. And each time I do any workout, once I go log out of that workout, it'll say, are you sure you want to exit? I'm logging out now. And it takes me to a screen where it tells me today's metrics, how many calories I burned for the day, what my volume was, and the duration that I actually used the machine's movement. So not the duration of how long you worked out. You may work out for 30 minutes, but it'll show that you only used 4 minutes here because you're taking a break. Maybe you did some floor work, or maybe you did some other exercises with some dumbbells. But this will give you the duration of how many times that the machine was used. Um, so let's look a little deeper into programs. So I'm going to get this a little closer to the camera. And we'll take a look into the programming here so you can get a better understanding. When you first turn on the screen, this is what you'll see. You can see here I have some attachments. These do not come with the Speediance. These are just magnets, which I hang everything up with. So you might have to get those on your own on Amazon. But on this particular screen will be the main screen. It'll tell you last 7 days of the week, what you have done in terms of your workout. So it'll say, you know, total duration, volume, and calories burned. It will tell you the days of the week that you worked out, and you can go back through a week behind you and a week ahead and do anything in comparison. It gives you more data here and tells you basically all of the stats that you have for the week and what workouts you've done for the week. Here's all this statistics for the month, for the year, and the total altogether. So it keeps a pretty accurate record of everything that's going on with your workouts, which I find really amazing. You'll not find this in the gym. You'll have to write everything down on a piece of paper. The Speediance does it all for you. So let's look at the main screen a little bit more. When I first turn it on, it'll say daily workouts. These are the daily recommended workouts that are geared towards you. So this one particularly says full guided workout, city canal, variable pace rowing. So this, if I had a rowing attachment, this would be for the rowing machine. And I believe it has a screen here where you can actually row down this canal, which is great. This one here is a lower body resistance boot camp. So you can take a look if you want to do this or not by just clicking on it and then seeing which muscles are going to be targeted. This is the legs and hips, which exercises are going to be done and how long they're going to last for. This is hip circles, standing hip circles, bridges, cable seated extensions, incline leg curl. So there's a lot of different movements here within this. And by starting it, right before I start, it'll tell me it's 35 minutes long. I'll burn roughly 350 calories, and it will be 5,600 estimated volume. So once I click on it, now I'm within the program. It will take a second to prepare itself. And once I am in, you'll be able to, it's just taking a little longer than normal. Yeah, so this is pretty extensive in terms of what it's targeting and very specifically, and it'll tell you all of the details. It doesn't always take this long. My internet's running a little slowly. Give it a sec. And it's still programming. It's been a crazy week with the weather and everything is running a little bit slowly here. So I imagine 50% done, should be done in a second. Maybe I should have turned the music on for this one. Okay, 65, it is almost there. 75. Okay, and we are just about there. Okay, so now we're loading up the screen.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Speediance workout. My name is Bruno, and I'll be your coach for today. Today's session will be 35 minutes long, and we'll be focusing on our lower body, focusing on our glutes and our legs. Before we start, don't forget to do your strength assessment.
So as you can see, you have a coach essentially guiding you through this entire workout. He's literally here talking to you, telling you what to do and when to do it. Let's go ahead and skip through some of his workout and see what he takes us through. So he's still coaching you with the bridges, explaining to you exactly what movement you're going to do, how to do the movement. So this is a bridge here, obviously, and he is talking you through it, literally guiding you through it. That's why I say it's so much better than having a personal trainer at the gym, because you have someone here teaching you how to do it in your own home. And as you can skip through any of the workout that you want to, maybe there's some movements you didn't want to do, you want to jump into something, you're short on time and you want to skip into the meat and the potatoes, you can just click here and you can pause at any time. You can also flip the screen. Not that you need to do that right now, but there are many options within this. And these little bars here are what workout you'll be doing next. So leg extensions, the incline bench curl. And so I wanted to skip out of here and then show you some more of what you will be seeing. And as we look deeper into the Speediance programming, there's first thing that you should spot is a new me challenge. Start your workout resolutions now. Speediance loves to give you challenges. This here is a New Year's challenge where if you complete the challenge, you will win prizes. And the prizes are typically like different accessories for the Speediance. I believe you get a T-shirt or a extenders, or there might be some handles in there this particular time. But so there's always new challenges. They're free. You just work out and follow the rules of the workout for 6, 9, 12 days, whatever it may be. You post on your Instagram, your Facebook, what you've accomplished in that time, and then they will send you a prize. That is an awesome incentive to work out. Let's go into some more recommended workouts. Here's champion guide to shoulder workout, rowing warm up, full body fat burning for beginners. And these are just the recommended workouts for the day. They also have recommended programs. So if you're just starting the Speediance and you're looking into trying to learn how to create a program that you can stay consistent with throughout the week, they have actual programs that will guide you for the 7-day split or 6-day split, whatever time you want to do it for. You get to make the adjustments if you want to do that. And it goes all the way to 5 weeks on this particular program. So that's a great way to get started. If you don't know what to do or what program to pick, you can pick something that's geared towards. This is advanced chest, back, and leg split routine that will follow a weekly, a daily split for the week. And then it will go on for 5 weeks, which is pretty awesome. And then you can kind of monitor your own growth through that time. So let's look into all the workouts and see what's available. We're looking at the program, the workout screen here, and all of the options. So it gives me some options to choose from if I don't want to just sit here and swipe through the dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of workouts. I can click here what's new. I can click here what level of resistance I want to use, beginner, intermediate, or advanced. I can click the duration, the time that I want to do it. So I can go 30 minutes or more, or 5-minute workouts. And I have more filters here where I can choose whether I want to work my chest, my shoulders, my back, my hips, my legs. So let's say that I want to do an intermediate workout for 30 minutes, and I want it to be hips, legs, and arms. I can confirm here, and then it takes me through a list of those exercises that are geared towards what I just chose. And there are lots of them. They never seem to end with the amount of workouts available, and they're always adding new things. So I would suggest that when you do pick up your Speediance, you take some time and figure out what you want to do, because you can get lost in this. It's like trying to pick a Netflix movie. So they have full guided workouts, gaining strength workouts, HIIT workouts, cardio workouts, sports specific, quick fitness, shaping, get fit, hybrid, stretch, activation. There's so many options here to choose from. And any one of them is very similar to that workout I just showed you. You just click on it, and then you can get started. So I picked aerobics leg workout here, and it has all of the tools that come with these particular, so the ankle attachments, it'll tell you right up here what you need, the details of it. And you can, when you first start your Speediance, you turn it on for the first time, there's a strength assessment test. That strength assessment test will gauge how strong you are and then log it in to each program for you. So you could be working out and not know what weights you're supposed to use. The strength assessment test is to help you figure that out, and it will give you a guideline of how much to use in each program that you pick. So lots of choices here, lots of things in terms of programming and workouts that you can choose from. And remember that it keeps a record of everything, so you'll always have knowledge of what you can do to progress each time. So let me go ahead and put this back. I'll answer a few more questions. Okay. Okay, then it's not. Let me see here. All right. Having technical difficulties, but I am back. Okay. So let's answer a few more questions here. Let's see what else we got. All right. And how does the rower on the Speediance differ from other rowing machines? Is the rower bench really helpful? Now, I never personally bought the rowing device. I've only seen it in action. The rowing machine itself on Speediance is a little different, obviously, because it attaches to a weight stack. But that weight stack is not, it's just through wired resistance. So when you're using a rowing machine in the gym, it's got similar movements where you're using wired resistance, and it can look and get the same feel. Really, a rowing machine is just a squat and a row at the same time, or a seated leg press and a row at the same time. So yes, you can mimic that very easily, and I'm positive you would get the same workout effect. The only difference is that you have a screen here that puts you in a canal, so you can actually see where you're rowing to instead of staring at a wall in the gym. Let's see here. Is the software part good enough? And as I just showed you how simple it is to navigate in the Speediance screens, things get done pretty quickly. Once I turn it on, within 5 minutes, I'm at the workout that I want to be doing, or the program that I want to be doing. It doesn't take that long to load up. Granted, you have good Wi-Fi, it should pop right on and be ready to go at all the times. And I've never really had a problem with the software, anything breaking down, any malfunctions. It seems like everything within the Speediance is updated on a regular basis. I feel like every 2-3 days I get a new update, and those only take about 20-30 seconds to load in. So even if I was feeling like rushing in, I got 10 minutes to work out, and it needed to be updated, that wouldn't take any time out of my workout at all. Are there numerous options available for achieving complete workout targeting different muscle groups? Absolutely. As you can see, you have so many choices within the Speediance that community that will give you different leg, back, chest, HIIT style, calisthenic style. you don't always need to use the machine in workouts as well. There's a lot of exercises that you just saw him doing and within the program that will give you the tools to just work out without any resistance, to do body weight movements, to do jumping jacks on the side, to do some static lunges without holding onto the cable. So there is a different modalities of training without using the actual Speediance exercises. The programs are varied in so many ways that you don't have to always be using the actual Speediance, meaning you have a personal trainer teaching you movement that is not always inclusive of the actual machine. And you don't need any other devices for that. It teaches you how to do a burpee or a thruster or static lunges or jumping jacks or speed jacks or whatever you're doing. The Speediance will show you how to do it and talk you through it. So I wanted to make you guys aware that in the Speediance world, if you're looking to get one, now is a great time to get it. The Gym Monster is $400 off if you use my promo code, which is SAM400. It should be on the screen here. And we're throwing in some devices, some accessory devices as well. I wanted to open the floor to any questions, anything that you might be looking forward to in terms of when you get your Speediance. I know Raphael had a question, if you're still here. In terms of doing chest flies in strength training, yes, this chest fly movement is pretty easy to do. I can actually show you how to do it right now. The chest fly is not hindered by the width of the machine at all. So when I think about how other machines in a gym might be hindered, I know what you're talking about very specifically. This is not, so I'm going to put it on free lift mode, and we'll put it at just a little bit of resistance here. And so if I'm doing any sort of cable chest fly, I can still get a full work on my chest, and it feels like I'm getting a full contraction. I can go back slowly. It doesn't feel like I need the cables to be super wide to do that. The same thing applies with any sort of, if I was doing a chest fly in an incline position or a decline position, none of that hinders in any single way. You can actually move the cables all the way down to the bottom and do that chest fly on the bench, and the cables would come from under the bench. The same resistance. I feel it. As soon as I get to my peak of the exercise, when I start going backwards, I start feeling that resistance right about here, and it is really pulling me back. So in that contraction here, I definitely feel my pecs getting the work. I know that's a big deal with guys at the gym. They want to be on that cable stack for the for any chest flies they do instead of dumbbells, which is understandable. You get much more out of it, and it does work very well for any chest flies, any sort of incline cable fly, any sort of decline fly, and reverse fly. So if I wanted to use the stack and be facing the machine and fly backwards, I get a good workout on the back of my shoulders as well. The Speediance covers it all. So that some people have made some thoughts about how you can get the most out of your legs with it. You can get super. I've seen in the Speediance community how creative they've gotten. When you're doing squats or deadlifts, those all feel the same. If I'm picking up a barbell, which I have that barbell attachment right there, and doing a barbell workout on this Gym Monster, what I'll find is I get the same sort of feeling as if I picked up a regular 45-pound barbell and did deadlifts or squat with them. So it also comes with the cowboy collar, which is here. You can put this on your barbell to rest it on your neck for when you're doing heavier resistance. Sometimes people like to do heavy squats on here, and that barbell can dig into your shoulders a little bit. That helps you with that. I would say that in terms of other movements, doing like leg extensions in the gym or doing any sort of leg curls in the gym, that type of strength training is different here, right? So you'll have to use your bench, and you can attach ankle attachments to your ankles and do extension movements. Those extension movements would come from connecting the cable to the bottom stack and doing a leg extension like that. So it can be done, and you can get a good quad workout out of that. If you're doing any sort of hamstring curl, you would attach the ankle attachments to the bottom, and you would have your leg on the bench and curl it back this way, which is very challenging to do because that resistance feels really tough on the muscle there. So it's a good exercise. All modalities of training can be done here. So you can do your calisthenics, you can do your strength training, you can do different plyometrics here. They have programs that include that, especially within the HIIT programs. So if you're looking to do strength training, but then like let's say a bicep curl and a shoulder press, and then get your heart rate up, they have programs which will tell you, do a bunch of burpees right after that. So it's pretty easy to find those within the programming. There's a program that says HIIT right on it, and you can jump right into that as well. Once again, I'm opening the floor to any questions. I have told you already, you could save $400 by going to SAM400 as a promo, using SAM400 as a promo code. It saves you $400, and it gets you a free accessory pack, so you get some more goodies added into that. We have a question here. Jacob Foster asks, does it offer the same resistance on the way up as the way down? Yes. So when you're looking at the standard mode, if you're using, say, 20 pounds of resistance on standard mode, which is just 20 pounds up, 20 pounds down, the cable will not change that resistance. I have dumbbells right here that are 20 pounders, and I can press up and press down and feel the same exact resistance. The cable mimics that. I also have a different modality of the machine that I talked about earlier that allows you to change the negative of it. It's called the eccentric mode. So if I'm pressing upwards on the eccentric mode, the weight will get heavier on the way down. So if I'm trying to get more out of my negative movement, what I'll find is it gets so heavy I can fight and resist it even more, so I get even more work on my negative movement. I have chain mode, which makes it heavier on the way up and easier on the way down. And then it has a speed mode. So that would change the variables in terms of how fast I'm pushing is how heavy it gets. So if I push really fast, the machine will get really tough for me. So the more force that I use, the more weight that will be gained in the stack. And the same thing on the way back down too. So if I'm resisting, it'll give me more resistance. If I just let my hands drop, it'll just drop. So it's so many different tools in terms of the time under tension. So when you're thinking about the time under tension, you want more time under a tense muscle to get more muscle out of it. The more tension that is on your muscle, the more the muscle tears, and the more the muscle regrows, and the bigger the muscle gets. And that all is very well done within the Gym Monster. You have different options on how you want to use your time under tension. But standard mode is just great on its own. I don't find that I really need the eccentric mode unless I'm like digging into a really heavy chest day. But because standard mode just feels good on its own. You do 10, 20 reps of standard mode, bench press, and you're going to feel it. Let's see here. We got another question from Altunt. Do you have the rower? Is the quality good enough? Have heard a few issues using with parts breaking. I have not gotten the rower. I've only seen it in use. So the rower in itself, is another attachment that you have to pay extra for. I did not need it. I have a rower in my building, so I didn't need to get that one. But from what I've seen and what I've heard, it works great. I haven't seen it breaking down a lot. It does have several rowing programs, and they've installed a new program which allows the screen to turn into a video of a canal, so you can actually see yourself rowing down a canal. It looks smooth. I've seen the videos of it working. I've heard from people, and I'm pretty active in the community, and I have not heard too many people talking about its breaking down. So as a question that I would ask within the community to be sure, but I've never heard any of it breaking down before. Another question from Mira. Have you tried attaching a dipping belt? I have not tried to attach a dip belt. We do have a belt with a metal attachments to it, which is a part of the accessory packages. So we don't have anything to actually do dips off of. So that would be a little challenging, but I understand that you may want to use it on your waist to maybe do some squats without holding anything on your shoulders or your arms. That is available. That belt would go around you here, and then you would just hook the cables to the belt itself, so that the wires would be connected to the belt, and you could do any sort of squat or exercise there. I don't know if you're asking the question for building your triceps, but there you can just do dips off the bench that comes easily, and you could do tricep extensions that comes with a rope. There is another metal bar attachment it does come with, but you can do tricep extensions pretty well with that and build your triceps. So yeah, there are options with the accessories, and it seems like the great thing about the Gym Monster and Speediance is that they keep continuing to come out with more accessories. I just noticed that they came out with an extensor, which makes the cable even longer. So if you needed to do more movement, some of my movements require me to take big reverse lunges backwards, and taking steps backwards, and you don't want to risk pulling the thing so far away that you injure the machine at all. So you're always being a little ginger with the movements as you get further away from it, and they just add an extensor, which is awesome. So now you don't have to worry about that. And it seems like they have other really great tools they have ski handles. Mine came with the ski handles. Not everyone does. Like I said, the ring here, which originally was a part of the handles, would have a button, and it still does. So this little blue thing here at the back here has a button. You click on this button, and that would change the weight stack, the resistance stack. Now the ring is so much better. It's so much easier and more fluid. If I wanted to change the resistance, I just click my thumb here, and you hold it however you want to. Some people hold it on their middle finger, their ring finger, whatever it is. But I click this here, and the knob turns on it. So this little device here turns, and when I turn it, it changes the level of the resistance. And when I double click it, it makes the resistance come on the machine or turn off on the machine. These are still available to use, and they still work. And I love these handles because they're very heavy and firm and sturdy. They got to weigh about a pound and a half, but they're not like flimsy. So you can really get some good pushing and pulling out of them. It feels good in the hands too. And the barbell used to come with an attachment that would go on it here. It was like a little black, it still does. It's a little black device that you could press a button and change the resistance of the stack. You don't need that anymore if you get the ring. So I'd highly suggest you get the ring if it's not already included in your device. Let's see here. Promo code, once again, it's SAM400 as we get down to the wire today. SAM400 will save you $400 on your Speediance. And not only do you save money on your Speediance, $400, but you get an accessory package as well. So something to think about if you're kind of tossing around other ideas with your other gym options. Saving $400 is amazing. I would say it's well worth saving that $400 and upgrading into the family package and getting the rowing machine and getting the incline bench included. You get a lot more bang for your buck with that. But even if you got the lowest option, that's still a huge savings, and you can certainly expect that's probably what, 4 months in the gym right there. So I would say look into that option, the SAM400 promo code, and get that free accessories. Is there any more questions? Is there anything else that you would love to learn about the Speediance? Anything else I can teach you? Anything else I could show you on the actual device? If you want to see more programs, if you wanted to see more about the free lift mode, if you wanted to see me mimic some movements, if there's anything that you thought that it couldn't possibly be done, I am happy to show you how to do it real quick so that you can see how the fluidness of the machine. I so far have had no issues doing any exercise or any workout that I couldn't do with a cable machine in the gym. When you use a gym cable machine, it is very similar to this. This is just a little bit more narrow. When you use a free motion machine, it's very similar to the tonal, but you can't find a free motion machine in most gyms. You find cable machines like this, and these are much more functional, I would say. So especially with being able to use the cable machine on the floor, bringing the cables to the floor, which doesn't have that option with the Oxfit or the tonal. So being able to do squats without having this weird angle is pretty awesome. This gives you the tools to do it and feel straight up like a regular squat. I put that bar on me. There's no resistance when I put it on. It feels really good. I'm standing over the platform here, and I'll show you quickly what that looks like. So this platform here I'm standing on, and the cables are attached to this. That barbell has no resistance. As soon as I click my ring, I feel the resistance get heavy, and I can squat down and drive up, and it doesn't feel like it's throwing me backwards or pulling me in any direction. So I get a great workout with my legs here. And I'll quickly show you how easy it is to put away. So, because with it being on the ground like that, that's about 4 feet of space here coming away from the wall. And I'll just take my floor mat that comes with it. I'll take that off, fold it and put it to the side. I unlocked the latches here. Very simple. This locks it into place. Once it's unlocked, I can lift up the Speediance, and it's not in the way. The floor is clear, and now it's about a foot and a few inches away from the wall itself. So it's not really an eyesore when I walk by it. It's not in the way. The bench slides right up to the side here. So that's out of the way. And most of the time it's a pretty awesome talking piece when people come into the house and they see it and they want to know what's going on with it. So it doesn't seem like an eyesore. It seems more like a great device to have a conversation with and convince other people to use the Speediance as well. So that will be it for me today. If there's any more questions, now's your last chance. Let me remind you that you can get $400 off your Gym Monster. $400 off is a big deal. I think you should definitely look into that. And remember, we're offering a free accessory package too with some really cool accessories with that option. So look into the $400 off with SAM400 promo code. The SAM400 promo code. And this is it for me today. I'm glad I got a chance to explain a little bit more about the Speediance. Oh, we got one more question. can you demonstrate a Smith machine hip thrust on it? Well, with 3 minutes left, it's a lot to do right now. A Smith machine hip thrust. There is and let me quickly just show you. It's too much to do kind of right now, but I'll quickly show you without getting too deeply into it. So yeah, you can sit on the bench here with the barbell attachments to the floor. And once the barbell attachments are on the side here, right here, and they're attached to the floor, the cables are attached to it, I would lean on the bench like this. I'd lean my lower back on the bench. Once I click my ring, once my ring is clicked, the resistance will start pulling me downwards, and I could drive my hips upwards. It's a great exercise. I know my girlfriend loves that one because she could really feel her glutes. The further you put your feet out, it's a little easier. The closer you get them together. And it goes up to about 200 and maybe 40, 50 pounds of resistance. So if you're lifting that heavy on this thing, you can really get your hamstrings and glutes into it. But yes, it does work, and it works very well. That in conjunction with doing squats and deadlifts, all in that same workout, will really get your butt and hamstrings really worked. I would suggest looking deeper into the programs once you do get your machine, but they do have that in most of the glute workouts because it is very popular and very easy to do. The setup, most exercises within the programs are cabled, ready for you to be in one position for as long as you possibly can, so you don't have to keep adjusting it down and adjusting it up. But when it's all the way down there, you might get like 5 or 6 exercises in a row there, and then they'll tell you to bring it up to the top for another few exercises. It's pretty, it keeps you from having to bounce around, and I like the way that they program things like that. But yes, I'm glad I can answer that question for you, and I hope that you guys really go out there and consider getting the Gym Monster. I love the device. I'm glad I chose it over getting the tonal, because that was my first option, and I got to try the tonal, and it just wasn't as good as I saw the reviews for the Speediance. Remember, when you get this Speediance Gym Monster, you're getting the free programming right now, so it's time to jump on it, and it won't be like that forever. So jump on it now. You get $400 off using my promo code SAM400. You get a free accessory pack with that, and we got one more question. Oh yeah, here it is. There's Speediance right there. Click on that to purchase your Gym Monster, and I hope everybody liked what they saw today, and goes out there and joins me in the community chat room. I'll see you there. Again, my name is Sam, and 20-year personal trainer. I love this machine, and I'm glad I got it. You guys take care and have a good night.